Winners don't quit and quitters quit. That's how it is. Winners just win. So if you see people quitting around you, man, make sure you beat feet and get to a different area. SAS selection, part 7. Let's get it.
For many, the next 5 days will be the most difficult of their lives.
Clear.
Plunged into a fictitious civil war, they must do whatever they can to help the guerrilla leaders. They will be fed just once in the next 5 days, and sleep will become non-existent.
Man, that sounds a lot like Hell Week. No food, no sleep. Now, I'm going to say this, in Hell Week, at least we get 4 square meals a day. And we're not trying to help no insurgents. We're just trying to survive. So it's a little bit different. This right here, they just got done with the happy wandering phase. They've been walked to death. They got some sleep. And now they about to tune it up for 5 days and 1 meal. Folks, you about to have some zombies walking around this place.
This final and hardest phase is called Lucky Dip.
Putting the guys under pressure through fatigue and lack of nutrition by not giving any food, it achieves the immediate aim of putting them in that circumstance that they may find on the battlefield. Most battles are lost in the mind of the individual well before they are physically lost on the battlefield. So you want an individual that will go that next step to ensure that mission success is always achieved.
He's talking about just being able to push yourself absolutely past any human limit that you possibly could have. If you're not able to disconnect your body from the physical state that you're in, you're not going to make it. Not going to make it. Special operations across the world is that how to disconnect your body and your physical pain and limitations, the mental aspect of the game, still be able to think cognitively and perform under incredible stress. The first thing you got to do is be able to disconnect your body from everything else that's going on. And really all you're doing is disconnecting your mind from your body. Trust me on this one, man. Having been there, been able to run while you're sleeping and move and do things. Woo! We're going to get to the bottom of it. We know we got to lose another 30 people, so let's get started cutting.
At the end of the day, your men are important, but the mission is the most important. And that's what we're trying to see out of Lucky Dip.
On the first night, they are kept awake by a tribal leader. He wants to know what the Australian soldiers are made of.
We're here to talk about warriors. Put your hand up here if you've lost a warrior brother in combat. You.
Many of the remaining men are experienced soldiers who have already confronted the brutality of war.
The section was on patrol in Chora Valley, trying to find some Taliban or some insurgents in the area.
We were ambushed by Taliban insurgents, and then, a few things happened from there, and he ended up getting shot. And
That improvised explosive device killed one A&A member, killed our interpreter, and gave small fragmentation wounds to one of our soldiers.
It's important to understand that these are not green guys, man. They're not green off the street folks. Some of these guys are hardened combat veterans, and it's even taken them to the test. It's taken them all the way up to the edge of exhaustion. This is something they still haven't seen in their combat veterans. It's incredible, man. I watched this before, man. It's the hardest military training in the world. I don't care what anybody tells me. Combined with the heat and the distance and all this stuff, man, they out here murking people out here in the middle of damn Australia. I love it.
Everyone agree? Yes. Thank you for your warrior story. Who else has a warrior story?
Candidates have been broken into 3 small groups. They now face the punishing reality of what this phase is all about. Impossible tasks demanded by directing staff, posing as guerrilla leaders.
What they're carrying are outboard motor engine boxes that have been filled with sandbags. They've got a couple of poles and some ropes, and their dilemma is to get it across country. They're quite heavy. It takes 4 blokes a bit of effort to get it off the ground, and they need help from other people to do that. So clearly it's a task that's bigger than they can really achieve, and that's what we're aiming for here.
If we're going to pause, guys, let's communicate with each other.
Yeah, all right.
We're going to assess the candidates throughout, particularly the bloke who's been given command of the activity, and also they'll be watching people who can clearly see a better solution.
What's other measures that we can do to make that happen? Like if we have to rethink it all?
Chuck another pole.
Yeah, maybe another pole or somewhere like that.
Like the original idea, that was it.
Up.
So what happens in these situations, a lot of times you're going to start seeing people fighting, man. They're going to turn on each other. Somebody's going to have a great idea. Someone's going to shoot it down. They're going to struggle. They're going to fight. And you just hope that they can figure it out. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that is the goal. You hope they can figure it out. You heard him say, man, sometimes they're going to give you something you can't do, and you got to figure out how to get it done. It sounds funny, talking out of both sides of my neck, but that's just the facts.
The activities are simple in nature, but when you are tired, sleep deprivation, lack of food, constant work rate, this is when all those little personal traits come out.
1, 2, 3, go!
This is where we really test the soldiers' mettle, their endurance, their tenacity, and that dogged determination comes through with those soldiers who want to win.
Make your men work harder. They're not working. No, they're not. Make them work. We'll be here all day.
As the day unfolds, the guerrilla leaders show no sympathy for the men's growing exhaustion.
We can get there, Hurry.
Less than 2 kilometres into the 7-kilometre task, the lack of food and sleep is taking a heavy toll, and candidate 53 has reached breaking point.
Once again, having that drop on request piece of paper in your pocket, man, that might be the slickest thing they got going on down here in Australian SAS training. I'm telling you, man, at any point you just reach in your pocket, pull out that piece of paper, sign it, and you're on your way to greatness. You can get the heck out of the pain and the agony. Ooh, man, that subtle little thing, to me, monumental.
Feels like it's in rib.
Yeah, mate,
half at my left rib side, it's just right painful.
Sensing weakness, the guerrilla leaders try to lure him into quitting.
Down for the count. Bit of pain.
Pedal left.
Yep. Left.
No.
Boys, get out. Drop. Okay. Yep, someone get on with
Unable to contribute physically, 53 is sent forward as the scout. Finally, the group reaches the destination, only to be told they will need to take the cargo even further.
Don't you ever think that the finish line is the line that they've drawn in the sand. It just doesn't work that way in this type of training. I'm going to carry this outboard motor back full of sand as long as they tell me to carry it till I get to the final destination where that thing catches on fire and melts to the ground. But I'm not ever going to consider that they actually only going to make me carry this thing 7 kilometers. I'm just not going to do it. That's part of the training, man. How many mind games can we play? How many FF games can we play? How many times can I get a trainee or a candidate to think that they're near the finish line, only to move the finish line twice as far as they thought it was? This, my friends, is called Special Operations Training.
To help, they offered an alternative mode of transport.
That's where your vehicle is. You need to go and collect it. Roger that.
Left guarding the area, 53 has time to contemplate what appears to be a significant rib injury.
To get 2 or 3 days from the end and have an injury like that, it's just devastating. My goal was just to get to the end of the course, and that's something that'll probably ponder on later. And and think about and obviously be quite devastated about, but I don't know, I'm not going to think about that yet. I haven't read.
Despite his pain, candidate 53 is refusing to quit. He knows that if he does, he can never reapply.
No, I physically won't take myself off.
Instead, he wants to be withdrawn by the staff on medical grounds.
I can't lift anything, so I don't know what they're going to say about that. I can't lift that type of weight.
To break the deadlock, a medic is called in for an appraisal.
Bring in the medic. Bring in the medic. Bring in the x-ray machine. Tell him he just fine. He got some sand in his nether regions, and he's feeling a little bit soft. And make him sign that piece of paper.
Make a decision one way or the other. I don't.
It's sort of there and sort of out to the left.
So it's out to this side?
Yep.
Just let me know.
Let me say this. I broke 3 ribs and my sternum clean across. I'm just going to tell you this. If you got some rib problems, you cannot breathe. You cannot talk, cannot laugh. Having broke 3 ribs and a sternum, I was talking like this. I get to breathe like this because if I moved any air, my chest exploded. Come on, man. Get out of here. I ain't believing this. They ain't giving this cat a medical. Ain't gonna happen.
A bit higher.
But it's all left-sided,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his injury is proving difficult to assess, 53 will be returned to base. It is now up to the regiment's doctor to decide his fate.
Stay away from the ambulance. The ambulance is Mecca for quitting. That ambulance right there, if that ambulance pulled up, man, I'm going to have to run. I don't care if my leg is missing. I don't care what's going on. If I'm in training and the ambulance shows up, I'm trying to get out of there because it ain't going to be good.
With no food in their stomachs, but a strong taste of what the next 5 days will bring, the inevitable starts to happen.
My brain's just fried. I'm not thinking straight. I can't participate. So instead of being a burden on them, that's it.
So I'm just going to tell you, psychology-wise, man, I saw a lot of guys quit basing their decision to quit on they were holding the team back. I'm just going to say sometimes, man, you're going to be super helpful and sometimes you're not. That's just how it is. Sometimes you're going to be able to help and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're going to need the team to help you and sometimes you're going to need to help the team. But psychologically, it's a lot easier for guys to quit when they justify quitting because they're holding the team back. I tell everybody, man, if you get in that situation, you just got to put out more, man. You got to dig deep. You got to look at yourself, man, and put out more and become an asset on the team. If you're the guy that's sitting there holding everybody back, you can't think, all this other stuff, man, just keep your mouth quiet and work your butt off, man. Be the hardest working dude on your team, and it'll all work out. But this isn't nothing new. Guys quit all the time saying that they holding the team back or they're not allowing the team to prosper and all this other stuff. It's a mechanism to make it feel a little bit better on their brain so that they can DD mouth.
So you understand once you've given that to me, you're off the course?
Yes, sir.
You can't reapply for selections again?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe take off the tag, grab your gear, follow on behind. Stay back about 100, 200 metres.
I guess I just wasn't, prepared mentally. I don't know. Yeah. Shit happens, eh? Just not meant to be, I guess.
The contagion now spreads to 62.
Hey, that quitting is contagious. I watched the whole boat crew on Lions Lope in the middle of Hell Week. It was cold. We were paddling with our little K-Pox on, all of us in the water, doing this little centipede deal. We're all locked together. And I remember we were paddling, and then I don't even remember how many laps we had taken already. And I looked over and I saw a whole boat crew, 7 guys, climbing out on this little dock that was maybe like 10 feet away. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out where all 7 of them were going. There wasn't anybody left in their boat crew. And when we came back around, they secured. And they said, you're now 13 people short in your class. So-and-so, 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 they're all gone. And a whole boat crew quit at one time. I'm telling you right now, distance yourself from quitters. Hang out with winners. Winners don't quit and quitters quit. That's how it is. Winners just win. So if you see people quitting around you, man, make sure you beat feet, get to a different area. Get away from them dudes, because it's contagious.
So we'll walk back down along behind us now.
By the end of the first day of the final phase, 7 more men have quit. For those who choose to stay, the pain will only get worse.
The pain will only get worse. That's what we talking about, baby. Bring it. All right, we down to 7. I think that makes 33. We only got 25 more guys to go. So let's keep ratcheting it up the pain out here in the Australian outback. Get it, mates.
These men are only 4 days from the end of the 21-day selection process and the chance of becoming an SAS soldier. However, another sleepless and foodless night is followed by another day of crippling tasks. Candidate 53 has been returned to the group, his injury deemed too light to be given a medical withdrawal.
That's all right.
Once again, another guy that took probably a solid 8-hour break. That will be noted. Just telling you, man, it don't look good. Obviously, we know we see in his face he ain't gonna make it. But I'm telling you right now, you go take a 6-7 hour break in the middle of this, you ain't the type of cat they looking for. Now you came back, you able to function? Come on, man. They knew your ribs weren't broke.
It isn't long before the pain becomes too much.
I can't load anything. As soon as I get any weight on my shoulders, as soon as it collapses on that side, I can't breathe.
How you feeling, mate? You going to be right to go and follow up, or?
No, mate.
The team moves on without him.
They strapped me up. I got told I had, it's highly likely the cartilage and bone have separated in my back, and I just can't breathe and I can't load it up. So when I load it up, I just can't breathe and it's fucking pain.
Now desperate to be granted a medical withdrawal, 53 waits again for the ambulance.
Never pull myself off, but I've got to obviously see if there's something else we can do, because what happened last night wouldn't work for me.
Meanwhile, the
The ye old dreaded ambulance is here. It's never good.
team trudges on.
1, 2, 3, push.
We've had no sleep.
Hey, make sure you take note that they traded in that little rickshaw that they had for a full-blown double axle or single axle trailer that probably weighs 1,000 pounds by itself. And they got a whole bunch of gear inside of it. And now they pulling it. At least they on the roads, man. At least, I mean, shoot, let's look at the positive. They could be trying to climb all the mountains that they was in, but at least they on the roads.
No food. Yeah, the body just, you can feel it sort of, it feels like it's eating itself inside out, yeah. I feel like I've hit that catabolic state where, because I haven't had any food for a couple of days and just water now, so it's, it just feels like it's getting worse and worse as we go on.
1, 2, 3, push!
While some are struggling to cope with their shrinking bodies, others are starting to grow in stature.
Dudes on the side, if you push the wheel, you actually get more leverage.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we can do this, fellas. It's only a rock.
Suck it up for one big one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's it. Good work. Okay, rest.
A few hours later, 53 is returned. This time, he's been shown some mercy.
They gave me the option to have an injection into that area for immediate pain relief. It's only going to last for 5 hours. I've got some Panadol and all that other stuff, so I'll just try to manage it the best I can.
Satisfied his injury can't get worse, the directing staff now want to see what he is really made of.
Basically, we want a soldier that puts himself last, his team, his mates first, and a mission first. His comfort comes last, and that's a crux to it.
They're always playing games. Every day's a game. So as long as they give me an opportunity, I'll take it.
They can always fix you after. You know, guys have finished fucking selection courses with broken arms and broken legs and all sorts of stuff.
All right, boys. Throughout this phase, command of the group is rotated. By playing with the group dynamics, the staff can look for potential leaders. This is particularly important for number 28. Already an officer in the regular army, he must prove he has enough command presence to be an officer in the SAS.
Let's not underestimate what they're really looking for. They're looking for a guy that can herd wolves. It takes a special type of individual to be able to herd wolves. And if you ain't that guy, they're not going to take you. There is not that many officers in the SAS, same as in the SEAL teams. There's 2,500 SEALs, 500 of them are officers. I'm just telling you, man, you got to be able to herd wolves. If you can't herd wolves and wrangle wolves, you're not going to make it. Just not going to make it, folks. So they got extra credence, and they looking at that dude extra hard to make sure that he's what they need to be successful.
The boat carry is exhausting and tedious. It soon creates tension.
Hey mate, we need 6 on this fucking door, alright?
You right?
Yeah, but we won't be for 6 hours.
Who's in command then? Are they or fucking you?
I am, sir.
Well, take...
All right, let's get this rotation going. Yeah, slide them forward.
The guerrillas now decide to test 28's leadership by creating a power struggle. They take number 37 aside, telling him he is now the leader.
Follow the same rotation plan, let's go.
He's not running the show, mate. I'm running the show.
He told me, mate, I'm the only commander.
No, it doesn't matter. He's not the fucking boss man.
Speak to him, mate. All right. I'm just doing his on told, all right?
Yeah, no, you'll do what I tell you to do. Get back out in the flank. You're on the left flank. I will speak with him, okay? You talk with me. Why are you speaking to me?
He's only going to speak to me, mate, all right?
Mate, we don't need to talk to him. We need to follow him.
All right.
Now. I need you back out on the left flank.
All right, let's go. Let's go, fellas. Start pushing through.
Don't fight me on this, mate. Get back out on the left flank, please. Thank you. Now.
Hey, let me tell y'all something, man. Sometimes them things right there are a swift punch in the face, man. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they put me in charge, and I'm running stuff, and you come up to me talking some nonsense, I'm going to pull you behind the bush, man, and the bush is going to be shaking, and I'm going to walk out that bush, and you're going to come out with a different attitude. Yeah, these power struggles, that dude ain't in charge. He ain't in charge of nothing. He's the insurgency guy. The fact that this dude even listened to him, but it's a double-edged sword, because they're looking for them dudes that can operate by themselves, can make quick adjustments, can be successful.
A single soldier that we select is a leader in his own right. The officers need to be leaders of these leaders. Perhaps one or two individuals aren't very good at working in a small team environment. Therefore, you'll start to see the fractures occurring during the conduct of those simple tasks.
In the end, 28 is officially told to relinquish the command.
Commander, all right, steady there, fellas. Grab it.
The group is now 5 hours into the task, and 53's pain-killing injection has worn off.
What are you doing?
He's reaching for that piece of paper, mate. What are you doing? I'm laying here on the ground. I got an injection, but the bottom line is I'm not tough enough. I don't have enough grit enough. I'm not quite what I need to be, and I'm reaching for this piece of paper because I'm about to sign it.
Yeah.
You're going home.
Yes, sir.
Did it?
Yep.
Top of the morning to you, 53. Top of the morning to you. Wish you the best of luck.
Stay closer.
it goes. Right, so you're no longer on the course. So you can take that off. You take off your number. No longer a candidate. Okay, once the rest of the team moves off, you hang on to that. Make sure you hand it back to the queue so when you bail out.
Hey, let me say this, man. I've been poking fun at these cats a little bit. I just want y'all to know, like, hey, man, it's a real big deal. Some of these kids, young men, are going to be heartbroken. I commend them all for trying. You know, I just think that at the end of the day, man, if you ain't where you need to be when you step in the door, you ain't going to find it when you get there. Just not how the program works, man. They're going to keep pushing you to the breaking point and pushing you and pushing you. And if you don't understand where that breaking point is, or you haven't moved that breaking point all the way to one side of the chart or not, you ain't going to make it, man. Just the facts of life, Jack.
I don't know what God's plan is for my life, so life's life, and as I said, it's all part of the journey, as I said at the start. And who knows where mine's going, but this was part of it, obviously.
"19 days ago, 130 men started the selection course. Now only 38 remain.
Underneath the lamplight by the barracks gate, darling, I remember the way we used to wait. It was there that you whispered tenderly that you loved me. You'd always be my lily of the lamplight, my own lily of the lane.
The long physical days without food are exhausting, but it's the nights that bring the real mental anguish.
The nighttime is where the demons come out. The nighttime is where things slow down. Woo, man, been carrying a boat all day. Woo, one more segment to go. We're gonna get down to 8 or 9 cats. We got about 20 to go. How are they gonna get 20 more people to quit? They're gonna keep that fire right there on 1 million.